Well, good morning. I'm Leanna Depew, and I'm the Highway Safety Director for the Missouri Department of Transportation, and we are so pleased that you are here today supporting our kickoff for the 2011 Battle of the Belts Challenge. You know, there is no greater tragedy than to lose a young person in a traffic crash. It literally brings a community to its knees as they mourn this loss. The tragedy grows if that young person failed to use a safety belt that in most cases would have saved their life. So today we are here with many of our friends in Malden, and we are joining with them in trying to kick off this very important campaign. We're also very grateful to Ford Motor Company. They are one of our very special corporate partners that commits both resources and personnel to highway safety. This year they have given a grant to the Governor's Highway Safety Association, and through the grant called the Ford Driving Skills for Life, they have donated $20,000 to Missouri, and that is going to be used for iTunes cards that will be rewards for students in the various high schools that participate as they come in the parking lot if they are buckled up. So we are very, very grateful. We're also very grateful to Charlie Thacker and the Lincoln Lacey Ford for hosting our event today. And with that said, let me introduce some of the important speakers. The first speaker I'd like to introduce is Trooper Clark Parrott from the Missouri State Highway Patrol. Trooper Parrott.
Thank you, ma'am. Every day in the United States, 17 teenagers die in traffic crashes. As law enforcement, traffic safety people that study this thing, that really disturbs me. And as troopers, we are trained from day one how to work an accident, how to deal with an accident, how to talk to families. The first fatal accident I worked was December 23rd, 2003, and it was a 17-year-old boy, retired trooper son, that was not wearing his seatbelt. That bothered me. It was my first one. Since then, I've worked numerous fatal accidents where people have not been wearing their seatbelts, but it never really personally affected me. I've had to talk to families that have lost loved ones in traffic crashes because kids weren't wearing seatbelts. Last Wednesday, I got a phone call at 4 minutes after 3 from the previous duty station whenever I was in north central Missouri. And a 17-year-old girl, it was her birthday, and 16-year-old driver were driving down a 2-lane asphalt road, ran off the right side of the road, overcorrected, ejected both of them, and he killed both of them. These girls were like nieces and daughters to me. And this is the first time in 9 years that it has personally affected me. I saw what it did to my 17-year-old daughter. They were her two best friends. She is still dealing with it. This town in North Missouri that I truly love is still dealing with it today, trying to make sense of it. And I got some phone calls over the weekend, and people asked me, well, what could have been done to prevent this? Wear a seatbelt. They do save lives. If you're in a serious traffic crash and you've got your seatbelt on, your chances of dying are 1 in 1,400. If you don't have your seatbelt on, your chances of dying are 1 in 32. They do work. This convinces people. We've had it at the SEMO District Fair. People get off of it and they are convinced. But as law enforcement, we don't accept that people are going to die in traffic crashes. It's our job to make sure that we do whatever we can through the seatbelt convincer, through permanent videos, through presentations at the local schools. I take it very personally. That just as easily could have been my daughter that was in that traffic crash. It just as easily could be you guys. I know that you guys don't think that it's cool to wear your seatbelt. I'm gonna beg you, if you won't do it because it's the right thing to do it for your parents. Do it for the first responders who have to come and deal with an accident. Somebody at home loves you. Don't ask me why, but somebody at home loves you, and I'm begging you from a law enforcement, from a safety standpoint, wear your seatbelt. They work, and they will save your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Trooper Parrott. And if you can't see the passion in his eyes and his concern, because he's really boots on the ground. He's the one there that has to see the results of these tragic crashes. Next, we have Lieutenant John Davis from the Cape Girardeau Police Department. Lieutenant Davis.
Thank you, Leanne. I'm just going to be very brief. Basically, I'm going to be echoing what Trooper Parrott said. One of the things I would like to add, I have a 17-year-old son and a 13-year-old daughter, and they make sure that whoever's in their car, or in his car, is wearing their seatbelt. And it's equally as important to not only have the driver have that seatbelt on, but everybody in that car have the seatbelt on. If you have 4 people in the car, 3 of them are belted, and one of them isn't, then you have a 150 or 180-pound bullet that's going to bounce around that car, killing everybody that's in the car because one person decided not to wear a seatbelt. It is the cool thing to do. I can't reiterate enough how much we need to make sure that everybody's wearing their seatbelt. I hear over and over again that wearing a seatbelt, it only hurts me. That's a personal choice. It's not a personal choice. It's a public. It has a public effect when you're not wearing a seatbelt. If a person's not belted in their car and they lose control of it, they're going to go in a number of different areas inside that car. They can't control it from the back seat. They can't control it from after they've been thrown out of it. So it's so important to wear that seatbelt, and it's so important for the young folks like the ones behind me to get that message out to their peers and convince them how important it is to wear their seatbelts. I am the chairman of the Southeast Coalition for Roadway Safety. We've been doing this for a number of years, and we have a challenge every year trying to figure a way to reduce the serious injury and fatal crashes in our community as well as the state of Missouri. Right now, we are fortunate enough to be within a decrease. Last year, the same time, 94 people had already been killed in the Southeast District. This year, only 89 people have lost their lives. That's still too many. We get people to buckle up, we can reduce that number significantly. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Davis. As I mentioned earlier, we have a gracious host today, and that is Charlie Thacker from Lincoln Lacey Ford Motor Company, and we're going to let him share some of his thoughts. So, Charlie?
Well, I'm going to be pretty brief here, and when I was called and asked to host this, it was a no-brainer. You know, we care about our kids, we care about our community, and I read the survey there where the Malden's kids, during the last survey, only 34% of them use their seatbelts, and that's a number that's way too low. And if we can do this and increase their awareness and let them understand how important it is, even in my life, I've lost a brother-in-law who was ejected out of the back glass because he didn't have his seatbelt on. I lost a cousin who was 16 years old and had a car accident, didn't have his seatbelt on, and he passed away. And as a family member and as just a human being, it hurts. When you lose a family member, it hurts, and especially when it's something that could have been prevented. So we're just glad to have the opportunity to be here with y'all and just try to make awareness. Amen.
I think the amen says it all. We're certainly all on the same page here. Last but certainly not least, it's what it's all about, and that's really our youth. And so I would like to introduce Chelsea Barkley. Chelsea is filling in today. The original person got sick, so Chelsea, I really appreciate you stepping up. But she is a student from Malden High School. So Chelsea?
Good morning. My name is Chelsea Barkley, and I'm a junior at Malden High School. Malden High School is proud once again to participate in this year's Battle of the Belts. In the past 4 years, Malden High School has seen our seatbelt usage go from 64% at the first seatbelt check to over 91%. Malden High School has received state awards the past 2 years, and we still have room to improve. Malden High School knows that wearing your seatbelt each and every time you get into a vehicle, no matter how far you're going, does save lives. Give yourself room to live. Buckle up and arrive alive. Thank you.
Thank you, Chelsea. And I certainly want to say thank you to Mr. McMillan, who's the principal of the high school, for allowing them to come. So thank you very much. And aren't this is a great group of young people back here. And so I really appreciate them coming. As I conclude, I think it's really important for us to know that this year's program, the Battle of the Belt Challenge, runs from October the 3rd through November the 11th, 2011. So we're just in the first phases. If any schools out there are interested, we want to encourage them to go to our website, savemolives.com, and they can find out more information. Or there are regional coordinators out there that I'm sure, if they haven't already knocked on the high school door, they will be knocking on the high school door to encourage participation. Our high school safety belt use number is extremely low. We only have 67% usage. That is not where we want to be. We know that the majority of those that are killed in traffic crashes that are young are not buckled up. In fact, we're looking at about a 68% failure to use safety belts in those crashes where young people die. We want to thank all of our partners, our law enforcement. We want to thank our community advocates that are out there. We want to thank our state agencies that collaboratively work together to try to promote safety belt use across our state. Over the past 5 years, Missouri has seen a 34% reduction in fatalities. And as we speak, in the last several months, we've been seeing about a 8 to 9% reduction from that level. But as Lieutenant Davis said so well, one life is one life too many if we lose it in a traffic crash. And so together, we want to get the message out there. We want you to buckle up every trip, every time. And so we're thanking all of you that are here today, that are joining with us. We want to again extend our thank you to Lincoln Lacey Ford Motor Company for hosting today. Thank you, Charlie. Certainly want to thank all the Missouri high schools participating in this year's Battle of the Belt Challenge. We have a number of sponsors. Ford Motor Company, of course, has really assisted us this year. But in addition to that, we have American Family Insurance, which gives $8,000 in promotion of this initiative. The Missouri College of Emergency Physicians also help us with a financial gift. Our statewide coordinator and facilitator, Carrie Wolkin, for all the work that she does. And in this particular area, we want to thank Kelly Martin and the staff that work so hard with the Southwest Regional Coalition in their efforts here. We will be looking to have more than 130 schools like we did last year. We want more is better. And we're looking for a huge initiative this year to try to get more young people buckling up. As I mentioned earlier, there's still time to sign up for this year's Battle of the Belt Challenge. Please visit our website at savemolives.com and be a part of this exciting effort to save more teens' lives in our state. And so that concludes the press conference, but I'd like for everybody to come up. We want to get a photo and have all the people that are here today. Thank you, Malden High School. And all the students that are here, thank you very much for coming, and thank you to everyone that's taken time to share in this event this morning. So have a good day, and don't forget, buckle up.